Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Nima Akashat Zibari.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
How you doing?
Morning.
I'm fine. I'm grateful to God. Like I am just grateful to God for life and everything. So my mom is visiting. I'm super excited.
Grandma is
Nice.
this weekend. Grandma is
She's
home.
around
Good food.
already.
So you get home, I'm sure there's some good food waiting for you.
No, my mom is not of the age where she cooks for me anymore.
Oh, okay.
So last night I finished cooking. I'm excited to be the one cooking. In
Caring
fact,
for
I
her.
consider it an honor because she's an over-caring mother. None of her children, none dare says it outside. She's pampered and cared for us, and it's a privilege to be able to pay it back.
Yeah.
Yes, and so I'm happy. And I want to do some geriatrics with her.
Oh, yes.
So that's part of why I went to get
Okay,
her.
that's nice.
Geriatric assessment.
Yes.
Medical assessment, yeah.
My uncle.
Yes,
How you doing?
It just
Shabby
happened.
girls.
Oh my God.
It just happened.
For those that know me, I tried not to do a show.
I saw your face.
No. I was quite excited, but I just don't...
Like to have that space yourself.
Yes, let's be individualistic. Anyways,
How you doing?
I'm good. So yesterday something scary happened in my area. I think you also made the papers. On Western Avenue, just close to the stadium, robbers went on a rampage. They attacked people in traffic. First of all, I think what alerted us was just lots of noise and then gunshots. You know, we're not sure. But then there was a video that was made, and it was that robbers had stopped commuters. And usually there's traffic lights on that stretch of the road, but it was completely dark. So I'm thinking, in my opinion, that maybe those gunshots was to shoot down the lights so that it was totally dark. But they said there were no police officers there, no one there, and it was scary. People were running into the estate because of fear. Please, Lagos State government, we need to do something on that stretch of the road. For a long time, there hasn't been any traffic on that road because the bridge was being worked on, so there was diversion. But since it's been opened, the traffic is back, and bad people have decided to use it to take advantage of it.
Yeah, bless those they should do for the whole of Lagos.
Yeah, the whole
of
Lagos.
Lagos in Lagos now. Something else.
Well,
How you doing, Obiajulu?
doing
I love your
amazing.
outfit.
Grateful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks to TVC Wardrobe.
How are you?
Yes.
How's everything?
Fine. So yesterday, my son sent me a list of all the things he wants me to make for him, that he was tired of American food. He was tired of it. So he sent me videos of jollof rice, fried rice, ofada rice, a stew, and the egusi soup. I said, Mommy, please, enter the kitchen yourself and make it.
Are you for
I want
real?
to eat your food.
He's done his burgers and pizzas and all the stuff.
So today, I'm going to be cooking till the middle of the night. I've sorted out everything I need to cook. So once I get home now, I'll rest a bit. And then I start my cooking, store it in the fridge so that when they get back, they will eat Mommy's food. Like he specifically said, Mommy, nobody else should make this food. Enter the kitchen and
Want to
make
taste
this
your
food.
mommy's
He was
food?
nearly crying. I'm like,
For
oh,
real?
Wow.
Imagine that. You know, it's
So there are no maybe
Because they
They
Nigerian...
haven't found. So they've been looking for. They
and
haven't
because
found.
they didn't go to somebody's house. They're in a hotel.
No, they're in a hotel,
traveling
yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
they're going
Yes,
to
yes.
eat like
Yes.
junk. Junk food.
Whatever they
Yeah.
find, yes.
If they had gone to family members' house,
They would have made
proper
something
Nigerian
for
food.
them.
Yes.
Okay.
So American hotels, people start serving Nigerian cuisine.
because
in Nigerian hotels, we serve American
Continental, what you call continental.
yes.
Cuisine.
I held it back.
How you doing, Mariah?
I'm doing well. I mean, I'm so happy that, school is on break. It's just so good that
helps.
I don't have to
school
worry
is on
school on break. I don't have to worry about assignments.
Okay.
And it's just work, normal work, and I thank God. It's just
This
life
school
is
that
going.
we are going in old age.
My sister. I mean, this weekend I was like, "Wait, don't you feel happy that there's no school?" I mean, we had time for family. I mean, so happy. So I'm staying out with the kids. My daughter is taking this photography thing.
Yes,
saw it on
I saw
Instagram.
that.
Yes,
If you don't hurry up, maybe we'll first you to get to the
People tag T.Y. Bello, they tag that this one, they tag so many
that
people.
view
saying
and the
that-
firmness of it
I mean,
is
she
not
was
for
just like, "Mara, look at the
a
view." I'm like, which view? Is it not fourth floor? I come here every day. Now she took a
Please
picture. I'm
support
like,
her
wow.
dream.
Read my comment on it.
Yeah, I saw the
Wait,
comment. I
yeah.
just saw it this morning. Thank you so much. We'll definitely work on the gift.
Yeah.
So please get your vaccine today. As soon as you can, get your vaccine. I would have to find out if they're going to start rolling out. I know they've received it, but I think they're waiting for a few other things. But the moment they start, please put it in mind to get your vaccines as soon as possible. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, let's start with the nation. Insecurity, Buhari threatens removal of military chiefs. Picture here of a young man who's been prayed for by the chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria. He was one of the victims of the happenings in Jos, Plateau State. Amotekun arrests underage herders, seizes 49 cows in Ondo. COVID-19 cases rise by 97% in 3 days. Fawemi's son was a victim. President Okay's review of grazing reserves in 25 states. Banks Forex dealings under close EFCC watch. And PIA Frontier Basins Fund to cover Cross River and Anambra. Okay, let's start with the major headline.
Yes, so the president, after the National Security Council meeting, the NSA was just relating what he said. He said he had, addressed all the members of the council and talked about how security must work under his watch, that he cannot leave Nigeria unsecure, and that he will consider a failure. He's rejigged the security apparatus before, and he can do it again. He's willing to do it again. But then the NSA then said, and in his review, he felt encouraged, and he also encouraged because he was happy so far at their achievements. He cited the conversion or repentance of some of the Boko Haram members as part of their achievements, and I just wondered. But the same vein, it wasn't really bad. In the same report, the former president Obasanjo, who said, it's bad, but it's redeemable. There's still room for improvements. It's not exactly that we cannot be compared to Afghanistan. That was the minister of information.
Yes. Okay, another story.
Yes, I have. So here it says Buhari okays the review of grazing reserves in 25 states. It's just giving us information that he has approved the recommendation by the committee. And the recommendation really is just to remind us, amongst other things, is the collection of field data on 368 grazing reserves across 55 states to assess encroachment and encroachers, stakeholders' engagement and sensitization. It also had recommended geomapping and geotagging of sites, analysis of findings and report preparations, and also it reduced the number of grazing sites because of security concerns, of course, in many of the areas. So these are the recommendations, but he has a
conflict of laws here. The Land Use Act has solely put all lands within states with governors of the states.
Thank you.
If we want to go back to grazing reserves, which were mostly edicts of military era, I don't know if they go to laws now.
Is it backed by the Constitution?
They are saying some of these lands have not been gazetted, so this committee is also supposed to gazette them. I'm seeing clash, and I'm just hoping that one of these governors will be like a wiki and test it in court so that we'll have
I was also saying that, are we going backwards? I thought we had moved the conversation to having to help build ranches for this business.
We're talking about grazing reserve. Let me just say on that related to Tekun. So what happened was that a woman, I think Mrs. Victoria Ajayi, 70, said that she had seen a man and two sons, teenagers, bringing 49 cows into her farm, eating her vegetables and all her produce. And then she tried to get them to stop, tell her sons to stop the cows from eating. And then they waved their cutlasses at her and threatened her. When she knew that there was trouble, that she felt threatened, she rushed back into the house, ran up to go and look for Amotekun. And they came and accosted them and sent them off. So the point is that, according to them, open grazing is banned.
It's even banned.
They shouldn't.
So my own is that they felt really comfortable that they were there long enough for her to go and get Amotekun to meet them. Because
that's enough time
that they were meant to be there.
Okay, so COVID-19 infections continue to rise according to the NCDC. It has risen to 97% in 3 days. They said the cases increased from 584 on Monday to 1,148 cases on Wednesday. And the death also increased. I think 17 persons died in the last 3 days. So the report is giving that from August 9 to 18, 6,507 new infections were recorded and 73% death. So there's also this worry that in Akwa Ibom and River States, there's an increase. in cases. I think, okay, so Akwa Ibom recorded 980 cases, while River State recorded 1,365 cases in just 2 weeks. So this is just buttressing the fact that this thing is here. This is more like a third phase. We need to follow all the protocols. We need to protect ourselves, make sure that we wear our masks, whether you are vaccinated or not. We just need to protect ourselves. It's getting serious.
The Punch. PDP Peace Pact crumbles. Obasanjo seconds in closed-door meeting. Human interest story. Hoodlums rob POS operator of 4 million naira. Burn crops, kill Uber driver. Police detain enslaved ESM members, girlfriend, IG orders probe. Buhari's security strategy is working. He won't leave office of failure, says NSA. Buni battles 5 suits, 100 APC members seek removal. Airport concession will fail. Legal tussle imminent, says Labour. PIA oil firms' equities belong to 3 tiers, FG assures state. Okay, which story are we taking in Punch?
Let me take the Inspector General of Police, who has asked for the investigation into the unlawful arrest and detention of a 21-year-old girl called Glory Okoli by intelligence response team in Imo State on the June 17th. He said that she was arrested because she's the girlfriend to an Eastern Security Network member, and they were trying to get to that member, and they arrested her. Meanwhile, her family had been looking for her all this time. They didn't know that she had been arrested. They were worried. They had put up, information out there just for one person who had been locked up with her to have come out, and then he was the one that told her family that he saw her in there. They went to the police, and they found that all this time she had been cooking and cleaning for the members of the police. And that in trying to get her out, they had collected over 220,000 naira from the family. Luckily, a humanitarian organization and human rights organization had put the information out, so investigation is going to what had caused her, detention and all the monies in between that had been paid. This is really annoying, and it's so I'm so angry.
No, I think those security officials who have kept this young girl for this long should be dealt with, because this is against the law. This is against her fundamental human rights. So if you arrest her for a crime, let us know the crime and take her through the proper channels.
When you arrest somebody,
like
charge
the human interest story. So the police in Ogun State have arrested 4 members of a syndicate who allegedly robbed a POS operator, Abiodun Odebumi, 4 million, killed him, and burnt his corpse. So the suspects are Kehinde Saliu Jilaila, Uluomo Abiodu Akinola, Johnson Fakeye, and Jamiu Akinola. So according to them, so when they were picked, first of all, they had a transaction with the POS dealer a day before for 1.5 million naira. And then they called back that they wanted to have a transaction of about 4 million. So this guy took the 4 million and went to meet them, and then he disappeared. So after a while, the salesperson just realized that my guy is not coming back, and then went to the police and laid a complaint. And so investigation started, and they found out that this guy has been killed, robbed of that 4 million, killed and left in an uncompleted building. So investigations continued, and they found the person who they were tracing went to hide in a kitty to hibernate. After a while, went to for the law proceeding for Sunday Igboho in Benin Republic. And then on his way back, the police laid ambush for him and caught him. And then he confessed that this is what they usually do. They also do that to Uber drivers as well, where they take you to a certain location, kill you, and take your car. So 4 of them have been arrested. Investigation is ongoing. Just a painful story.
There's just a word out there for operators of this kind of business. When people come to your business place for such an amount of money, you don't take money out of your business place. It's the least you can do for your security.
I was going to take the story because I took the story on the airport concession yesterday, and we were talking about the fact that the federal government was planning to concession the 4 major airports, but Labour the unions have said that this move is going to cause a legal tussle. It's not going to work, according to them. There's a lot of backlog of baggage that these concessionaires are not aware of, and it's important that federal government tackle those issues before the concession these airports. According to them, it says that the concession exercise is carrying too much baggage and they cannot succeed. It will not work because of the too much baggage again. However, our views will be documented and unveiled by next week, Tuesday. So according to them, there are a lot of liabilities, and Labour will definitely bring this out so that the concessionaires know and are aware of the various issues that have been happening with the airports before taking it on. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria, on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Outrage over plan to turban Sultan of Shua Arab of Edo. Shua Arab of Edo. Defend democracy, Atiku Fayemi, others urge Nigerians. PSC waits for Abba Kyari report, sets up in-house panel. Yanisa Mohammed died of COVID-19 related complications, says family. PIA Ijo youth spit fire. Security Buhari talks tough in meeting with service chiefs. EFCC stops ex-Abia Governor TAOG from traveling abroad. Okay, major headline, Nima. You have that story?
So there's outrage in Edo, and on Facebook, people are agreeing and disagreeing on the intention of some group of people to turban someone called Idris Adano as the Sultan of Shua Arab in Edo State. But thankfully, Governor, I'm very well pleased. I'm very pleased with the Governor. The government of Edo State has issued their warning that this is a security threat to the state. We have our traditional rules, and under the Edo State Traditional Rulers and Chiefs Law, it is an offense for anyone to proclaim himself or allow himself to be proclaimed as the holder of any traditional title not recognized under the said law or without the approval of the appropriate authorities within the state. And I thank you. Can I please go back to Bono and your historical kingdom?
But we have chiefs within states. So we have like
we don't want
Igwe within. We don't.
Yeah. Lands, the feudal system, lands have their history. Right. And the people that live there, to come from anywhere and recognize another person is to sort of usurp. Yeah. You know, I've always queried all those sponsor titles within Lagos. How did this happen? So please, I don't want to wake up by any. I'm not apologetic about it.
There's something quite peculiar about Edo State, especially Auchi. Most of them look quite northern. So they are tall, they look Fulani-like. Yes.
It's only the Auchi kingdom among the Esako Afemai kingdoms that has an Otaru. My village, we have Oba, Danesi. We have our histories well tied to the Benin Kingdom. Thank you very much. Please just
history lessons on this. Anyway, okay, so go ahead.
So the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, yesterday stopped the former governor of Abia State, Senator Theodore Orji, from traveling abroad. So he was stopped at the Nnamdi International Airport, Abuja, where he wanted to board a plane to leave the country. According to him, was going to vacation and his medical checkup. And so they took him to the EFCC office to query him. He went with his son, who happened to be the Speaker of Abia State House of Assembly, Honorable Chinedu Orji. So when they got there, they took their passport and said that there's been this allegations levied against them. I think according to Fight Corruption, Save Nigeria Group, since 2017, and they have a case to answer on misappropriation of state funds. So the accusation is basically that he was receiving, as a governor, he was receiving 500 million every month, which was supposed to be for security votes. And that was aside the security votes used for the security architecture of the state. So they are, questioning him for that. They seized the passport. They said he should come back today to see if he can get the passport to travel.
Let me just add to that. So the allegations against him are that he diverted 383 billion from the revenue of the Federation accounts. He diverted 55 billion excess from the excess crude revenue, 2.3 billion from Shopee, and 1.8 billion from the ecological funds. And it's also alleged to have used his sons to fleece the state of these monies.
Yes. Sometimes I just wonder how these things happen. Anyways, there was an event that former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, and the Governor of Ekiti State attended. It was a book launch, I think. The book is Remaking Nigeria, 60 Years and 60 Voices. And there, Atiku was saying what we always say every single day, that, that we need to restructure Nigeria. He said that Nigeria should be restructured in a manner that allows various segments to develop on their own pace and not be held back by the center or other segments, and that we must defend our democracy. Governor Fayemi also said that he urged Nigerians to uphold the message of the second stanza of national anthem, which is to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign, and said that there's no country in the world that is happy with the current status that they have, that every country is a work in progress, and we must work to make it better. For as a people, our focus should be about how we can reinvent our nation, work for prosperity. So they're saying something that we already know, but yes, one more story.
Yes, so Governor Wike has signed into law his the bills on VAT and the prohibition of open grazing. And talking on the VAT, he says really that when all these agencies collect VAT instead of the states, they impoverish the state, they emasculate the state financially, and that's why you find state governors, states running to the center, cap in hand, begging for funds. But that if they are allowed to collect their taxes, thankfully and luckily for Rivers State and his people, he's a good representative of his people. He has fought for their rights. And so he gave an example. He says, imagine I give a contract running to 300 billion. There's a VAT that's 7.5% VAT. And that money, instead of coming back to me and to the state for us to do other things, we're now sending it to federal government. How does it make sense? Meanwhile, the allocation that comes from federal government is not even coming again like it used to. So what these agencies are doing are actually impoverishing the states.
Yes.
Made a good
Okay,
point.
moving on to the Nigerian Tribunal. Let's find a story we've not taken. Aftermath of clash, Oyo local government chairman asked immigration officers to vacate offices. Wike signs bill on VAT collection into law. There will be no salt and sugar. Okay, I've talked about that. Let's find a story we've not taken. 4 die, 1,000 farmlands, 200 houses destroyed as flood ravages 2 Niger local government areas. International oil companies ONDDC over $4 billion, says Akpabio. Buhari moves to retrieve the 368 grazing reserves in 25 states. Police Commission sets up panel to study reports on Kyari. EFCC arrests ex-Abia Governor Orji at Abuja Airport. And over 3 billion are paid to kidnappers as ransom in Southwest, says Gani Adams. Okay, there's, I think we're taking most of the stories there.
Okay, yes, well, in Niger State, it's been reported that 4 people have been confirmed dead and many others missing. This was after a flood had ravaged 2 local government areas in it's Mashegu and Kwantogora local government areas of the state. About 1,000 farmlands were submerged, over 200 houses were destroyed. The director of Niger State Emergency Agency has confirmed this, but they said they're investigating to find out if it was due to the rains or if there was a dam that had been opened, so that they understand the source.
Didn't look good, though.
Yeah, the source of that flooding. So that's what's going on now. It's
really sad.
Yeah.
Quickly, local government clash. There was a clash in Oyo State between the immigration officers and a local government chairman. And the story wasn't really clear about what happened, but it seemed like he went to their office for whatever, and they had already deflated his tire. That's the local government chairman from the North local government in Oyo State, Ibadan North local government area, Mr. Sahib Oladayo. And so they had deflated his tire, so he called the vulcanizer to, ramp up his tire so that he can drive out of the place. And then they told him, somebody just came to him and told him that he has to leave right now. They started attacking his boss. Tear gas was used on him. He had bruises, and they started attacking him as well. He had bruises on his body. And so the local government chairman in Oyo State are asking all the immigration officers across the 33 local governments to vacate the state, and they have to fish out those perpetrators who abused the local government chairman.
Let's quickly run to Daily Trust, find a story we've not taken. Hush Puppy, Police Commission begins fresh probe of Abba Kyari. Glamour as Buhari's son went Kano Princess today. We love
beautiful pictures.
Please, who has that story? That's the story I want to take.
Yeah, so, I mean, we have to take the story. Our president...
I thought she was a princess.
No, she is a princess. Our president's son is getting married today to the daughter of one of the emirs in Kano, the emir of Bichi. Her name is Zara as well. That's his sister's name, is it? Yeah, so everybody, they say all road leads to Kano today, so... We've been seeing the pre-wedding pictures. She's so pretty. He looks so handsome. They look like they'll make really Aisha Buhari's
Only son, yeah.
Yes. I think they are going to make really beautiful
children. Have you noticed these politicians? Yes. They have very pretty, cute kids.
Yes, yeah.
They used to cross
marry amongst themselves.
I'm telling you.
I'm not saying anybody said that they just brought somebody from one place.
The meeting of royalty and presidency.
Okay, all right. Vanguard, quicker. Let's find a story we've not taken. Extortion. E-color failure cause of fresh gridlock along Mile 2 Tin Camport. I'm sure Nima has a story. PSC sets up panel to investigate FBI's indictment of Abakiari. Nard strike why I invoked no work, no rude. Ngige tells Buhari. Okay, let's start with Tinkan Island.
Okay, so just the usuals. You know, why is failing, why the e-column system that has been mandated to start August 16 is not working. Vanguard reporters went on site and saw that despite this order that the ATO must be, deployed in getting to the ports, they see trucks pay and pass through, and so there are traffic. But the person who spoke under anonymity for last month said that they are doing their possible best, that they've left the service lane for car users, but the middle lane, the major express is for trucks, and they're ensuring that they move as quickly as possible. They are supposed to get an access through the ATO system before they go, and that they're trying to do their possible best to see that there's no traffic. Reports like that. But they should please extend that work, especially last month. Please extend it to the terminals on the old Ojo Road, because it wasn't funny staying in traffic for the past week.
That's all we can take. I thought somebody took Abakiari, but we've run out of time.
No, just to say that a panel have been set up to probe the allegations from FBI.
That's it. Yeah. Let's go on a break now. When we come back, we have a sponsored segment from Lush Hair. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it? Ọdún wa sọ yìí. Ó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set, 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome to our sponsor segment by Lush Hair. We have with us on the show the first runner-up, Lush Like an Idol, Season 1, Chukwube Isaac. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited seeing you all.
First of all, we love your hair, and I was so tempted. Is that Lush hair? But that's natural Lush.
Yes, Lush hair. They're doing amazing things anyway, so it's part of the Lush look.
Great. So tell us about this Lush Like an Idol. What was it about?
Okay, Lush Like an Idol came because Lush Hair was one of the sponsors of the Nigerian Idol. So while the Nigerian Idol was going on, they were actually doing their own online competition. So we asked to compose a song for Lush Hair with the theme instrumental, and yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what convinced you to participate in the competition?
Well, for me, I was doing other things then, but before that time, I had already won a mobile phone from one of the other sponsors of the show. So I was like, oh,
so you're a winner, honestly.
Based on the worry blood where I'll be, I was like, okay, let me just jump right into this one. And what I was thinking in my head was, I saw a Lush woman as someone who is a queen, someone who has something to offer, someone who is, you know, I was just trying to praise the Lush woman. So that was what inspired my entry.
People will say, if you are, you know, since you're that creative, why didn't you go in for the big
main competition?
Okay, what actually happened then? Because aside now, I work as a media presenter for a TV station. So at first I was awkward because I'm always used to being the one asking questions. So so then I was busy with work and everything. I was like, okay, I will do. So it's passed. Do you understand? So while the show was going on, people were like, my friends were calling me, Chukwube, just do this thing now.
You should have been there.
Yes, do you understand? So, but before the time, I'd tried to be on 1 or 2 competitions, maybe during my free time from work and all that, but it's what it is.
Since music is a hobby for you, do you plan to make it a full-time thing later?
For me, yes, but I think there's a thin line between being multi-talented and being, I don't want to say cursed, because while growing up, I could do virtually everything in class, all the cultural dances we did there, all everything we're doing, all the science courses I was trying, when it comes to TV events hosting, I could edit, I could do video production, I could do everything. And the point was that whenever I focused my mind to do like this, the other part of me keeps craving for expression. And I'm like, okay, I can still sing, even when I'm on set, one song will just come on, I'm like, I want to do something.
I can totally
relate. It's really, but yes, I did a song, I think that was last 2 years, titled Elevates. So I'm still working in the studio with amazing artists. Yeah.
But I don't think, let me just help you here. I don't think it's a curse. I just think you need to find harmony. So you get to that point where you're able to harmonize those things
I'm actually
together
working
and
on
express.
Yeah.
That was well done. That sounds, you're blessed. All these things are a huge blessing. People would love to have what you have. So please harmonize as she has advised.
Yes.
Yes, you're going to ask
I was going to say what sort of the genre you are more
talking about genre, starting up back in Warri, my parents, I'm Igbo, but we're raised in Warri. The kind of song I was listening to then was, this Igbo, this kind of thing. So it took a while before I started hearing other kinds of, like, this kind of sounds Fiji. So, but eventually I blended into the whole thing. So right now I could say that I'm into Afrobeats. I could do soul music because I sing from the church choir and all that. So. Yeah.
But nobody has ever really branded that.
No, they have now.
I've not seen a refined version of it. So it's nice for you to.
It's refined. If I want to do it, the temptation to actually sing like the way if I want to do,
can you sustain it?
I want to enter the.
Because somebody can actually bring it out so that everybody is globally accepted. You'll be surprised. Somebody can.
Okay, you see, you have to sing something definitely. You have to sing something.
We can't leave ourselves without singing.
Yeah. Okay, should I do it now?
Yes.
Yay! What would you want me to do? Should I
Sing
sing Lush Hair? Okay.
Okay,
we're going to be doing this thing together. At some point, you do Lush Hair, Lush Hair.
Hey.
I will not do it.
All right. Never to be caught unfresh, oh no, looking like a star all day, all night, because in our waiting, because in our lush hair. No be like who carries punch forehead, walking like a this, like a that, no be you with that, because say you get the plug. Say now waiting lush hair, pop up the beats cause you get swag, so confident and we like your style, because it be lush hair, baby, because it be lush hair, baby, looking so magical, intentional, no they carry last cause you get swag, yeah. Gotta be lush hair, gotta be lush hair, we have no time to waste, come join the team and look fabulous, lush hair be the cocoa, now you want to know, yeah, this one no beginning, mini, more, lush hair be the cocoa, lush hair be the cocoa, lush hair be the cocoa. Well, let me use this opportunity to say very thank you to Lush Hair, Nigeria, for all of this. The platform is a brand that is known for originality, is a brand that is known for excellence, is a brand that is known for always having people's hearts in their, interest.
I mean, I have to give it to Lush Hair because the truth is that we've seen since they started the sponsoring segment on Your View and even on Wake Up Nigeria, everybody they send represents their brand. The marketing guy that came here, there's a young lady, the customer service person that came on Wake Up Nigeria. All their, even Amanda, who's one of their, it's like they find the perfect brand for their perfect person to fit their brand. I mean, I think that they've done well.
You have a wonderful talent.
I think it has a way of connecting when you're working with them, both the PR, but I don't know, it's so
wonderful. To them. Well done. So you
well done to you too. Thank you. I like Chekube.
Chekube means trust in God, depend in, there's something you Chekube.
Hope in God.
Chekube. I like that. Wow, nice. All right, have a lovely. I wish you the best of success in what you do. And all those lovely things, God will help you to harmonize it and make it a fantastic international brand that's exportable.
Thank you, I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's go on a break. When we come back, we move on to other topics. Stay with us, we'll be back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bolly, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey, as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC Communications story.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it? Ọdún wa sọ yẹn. Ó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ píjẹ́rẹ́ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. So after weeks and months of controversy concerning the Olu of Warri, finally the king will be crowned tomorrow. And it's interesting that we just want to, it was interesting for us to share this story and discuss it, because in this time of division amongst Nigerians, insecurity, issues happening all across the country, it's an important time to remember that, listen, we are a people and we should celebrate each other. So we're going to take the next few moments to review the coronation tomorrow and help Nigerians celebrate in the display of culture, and appreciate the diversity that we have. So we're going to show you a clip of the promotional video and then bring in our guests to discuss with us what their plans are towards the coronation tomorrow. Watch this.
On the 21st of August 2021, as we celebrate the...
So Ishakiri people will be hosting, let me say, the world as they crown their king tomorrow. So, I mean, this is exciting. While we're trying to get our guests, I'd like to hear the ladies, your thoughts on this coronation. Nima, I'm coming to you because I know you love culture, you love tradition, you like, these are the kind of things that gets you excited. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm sitting in front of the TV throughout tomorrow for this, and I'm going to be talking to my children about it. I love that my parents used to talk to me about it. There's one language my neighbor who is from Ishakiri used to say, we say, when you see white man, now we first see white man. The Ishakiri kingdom was known to be the first to interface with the foreigners, and not totally before slave and colonization. So they had their princes educated in Portugal, they did trade and all of those things. And the reason why they do their coronation at the Ishakiri is something that amazes me. So there's a bigger place where they do all that event, the colors, the richness, and the loyalty of their people. Everybody that is of Ishakiri, I want to see Oma Wumi to travel. We'll be going to go down.
All right, so I'm told now we have our guest, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, in the building. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Morning, how are you?
Great, great. I know you're from Ishakiri, and this is one of your major events right happening in your community.
No. You see, I'm from Warri.
He's from Warri.
He's a tribe.
Okay.
You're from Warri is the polity.
Yes. Okay. So you're from Warri. Okay. So tell us about this event
Warri Kingdom.
Okay,
you're from Warri Kingdom. Okay. So tell us about the event happening tomorrow. I know there were lots of controversies that trailed this, and a lot of people had questions about the fact that they said the crown was stolen. I mean, so do we get the crown back or we get the new crown? What exactly is happening tomorrow?
I can tell you that I just stepped into my home in Warri less than 2 minutes ago because of you guys. And we just went for a procession, a 7-kilometer procession with the Omoba, with the Ogami himself. You'll see later in the day, I think it will be in the social media at the moment. That is how you test your popularity among your subjects. And today happens to be possibly the last day that he came before, by God's grace, will be crowned tomorrow. So we went around the major streets of Warri, walking. The Omaba himself led this procession through the major streets. You know, it is about 7.5 kilometer walk, you know. And you could see where people were coming out from their homes, old, young, you know, hailing and be happy, and you can see the excitement, you know. So you can see that we are in the Warri leadership, we're having it right, you know. Yeah. Because like I said, and I always say, when Shola was born into undiluted royalty. You know, he was born into, it's very royal, very majestic. You need to say him, you know. Blue blood. And that has been, I've known him for about 30 years, and I've that same admiration, you know, right from when he was a young, you see a lot, everything that has to do with royalty is all encapsulated, if you like, around it. So
right. Okay.
We are very happy because, listen, it was groomed, it was nurtured, it was conditioned to be a king. He's our own equivalent of Prince William. So, and we are very, very excited about it.
Right. Okay.
How important is tomorrow going to be for the average Shekiri person? Did you get me, sir? How important is the coronation for the average Shekiri person?
Well, is quite significant. Is beyond significant. Is beyond historic. I'm trying to get an adjective to qualify it, but I cannot find. But I can tell you that it is extremely, extremely important. Right. And I pray that this will be the last coronation I will see in my lifetime. I'm 50. And we believe it's going to reign for a very, very long time. This will be the third coronation by the grace I'll be witnessing. And I pray I don't witness another coronation. Okay. And that's the prayer of every one of us.
Right.
So we are really and truly excited about this. And we believe that we have gotten it right because it is not about him, it's about his subject, it's about the kingdom.
Right. You know, okay, let me get a few more questions in for you, sir.
He's quite enlightened, he's from a royal family, and he's got the royal blood all around him. Yeah. And what you see as bickering, you know, it is not the first time. In 1951, even though I wasn't born, if I may recall, going to our history books, even the king, the original second that was to be crowned the king, he wasn't the first child at that point, you know, but he was to be crowned based on the selection from the entire process. But his own brother was there. He was chanting incantation, and they got him arrested, chased him away, and Erejua II was installed as the law of Warri in 1951. You know, but at the end of the day, they made peace, and even those people that were antagonistic to that law of Warri at that point became his closest allies. Right. So, and I know Omoba, I know Game, I know he preaches peace, he loves peace, he loves his people. He will not discriminate.
All right, let me get a few more questions for you, sir.
Forward,
go ahead, Mary.
It's bringing everybody on.
Okay, sir. Mr. Pinnick, we want to enjoy this Ishekiri culture. So what are we looking forward to when it comes to the dressing, the food? Is it a night-long event? Is it 3 days? Is it 7 days? What about the women? What will they be wearing? Those are the sort of exciting things Nigerians like to hear.
You need to see the impromptu procession. You need to see it. Oh. But people came out in their numbers, you know, very beautifully. But tomorrow we're going to start at 9 o'clock. Very colorful boat regatta. Everybody, like my family, we have our own boat regatta. Okay. My company, Brown Hill, we have our own boat regatta. Wow. And they all, if you go to the jetty now, you see a lot of boats being, you know, designed in all kinds of colors. Then from there we go, then you have the crowning. In Ode Shekiri already, we have a maquette that can seat about 3,000 persons. Is 25 by 200. That's the length and breadth. And we have the overflows. Then, you know, we have individual tents to accommodate guests like mine and some other people. And it's something that we are really, really happy to be, you know, and
Right.
we know that we have some very eminent and very prominent Nigerians.
Right.
I'm going to grace the occasion tomorrow.
Okay.
2 former presidents, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and President Obasanjo.
Wow.
They are scheduled to attend an area of governors. The new officer will be flying in from Kano later in the day.
Very good.
The Alafia for you. It's going to be a very, very much. Then the Oba of Benin is sending a very high-powered delegation.
How do
I was part of the delegation that went
Okay,
to the Oba of
let me
Benin.
just get one more question in for you.
So, sir, a lot of issues preceded this coronation. We had some grievances from the Ologbosheri people, you know, different. Are we looking at everybody resolving these issues out of court and, you know, accepting this king wholeheartedly?
Trust me, listen. I've told you. In the past, it happened and everything went smooth. So I can tell you, we are looking beyond that.
Yeah.
If you listen to my interview 3 months ago, I was quite emphatic when I said on the 21st is sacrosanct. And beyond on the 21st, there will be reconciliation, you know, because that's what the Shekiris are known for, you know, believe in thriving in peace and harmony.
Exactly.
We don't want to thrive in, you know, any form of animosity, any form of victory, any form of division. So I want to leave that. It might be ambiguous, but let's leave it at that. But I can tell you at the end of the day, once the king is crowned tomorrow,
You didn't answer my question, sir. Concerning the crown, do we have a new crown or is the old crown?
You did find the crown that was missing.
Don't listen. We can be moving with time.
Okay.
And possibly there are times where you have a brand new crown, you know. But for the sake of history, you can also maintain what you have and keep it in the archive. So I can tell you, wait until you see tomorrow the crown that will be coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. You know,
Mr. Pinnick, how do we greet the new king in Ishekiri?
So you guys can watch it. All over the world.
How do we greet the new...
Mr. Pinnick, we want to enjoy this culture now.
How do we greet the new king in Ishekiri? How do we greet the new king in Ishekiri? The language. What do we say? We want to greet him.
As far as he went through the rigors, the rudiments, at the critical time of going to Ijala and back, once he gets into that enclave and comes out unscathed, he's referred to as Ogiame. But because he has not been crowned officially, he's called Omoba. But if an Olu goes to the Danike, unscathed, goes to Ijala, which is the spiritual and the ancestral conclave or enclave of the Shekiri people, and come out unscathed, then as soon as he comes out, the chief priest will be the first person to meet him, and the appellation will not change from Omoba to Ogiame. And that was exactly what happened.
Let me ask
that was exactly what happened.
Let me ask a
So that's what I call it together this morning. So
let me ask you a question, sir, because we're trying to learn from you. So are we going to see him emerge after the priest has seen him? Are we all going to see him as he emerges together on live TV, or we'll just see the prince come out after everybody has seen him already? I want to have an idea what we're going to see tomorrow.
Live?
No, there are procedures for ceremonies tomorrow. You know, he needs to also pick what's called the Uda. Uda is the staff of office. He will have to select you. For example, tomorrow, you will not hear his new appellation, his new title. The law of worry, whatever the first, whatever the second. By tomorrow, I think we'll be able to know that, you know. But and the crowning is on the bank of the Leven, where the crown will be put on his head, and that's it. But trust me, the Shekiris are God-fearing people, and with very rich history, dating back 480 years.
Yes.
You know, and is one very unique ethnic group.
Right.
Why so? Because it's one of the few ethnic groups that can boast of one king, one language, and one culture.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Mr. Pinnick, for sharing this with us. We're excited about the whole celebration, and we thought it was important for us to give it a few minutes to discuss so that Nigerians can see that there's beauty in our culture, our differences, and there's beauty in our diversity, and it's important that we all recognize each other, love each other, and then celebrate with each other. Thank you very much for sharing. we wish the Omoba success tomorrow in his coronation. Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it? Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script
check.
Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, for the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So a man recently posted a story on how anger destroyed his marriage. According to him, he got angry with his wife and decided to leave the home. The wife eventually decided to leave the relationship because of the situation of anger. Now, how do we manage anger? Because every relationship always experiences some form of anger. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to take your messages. So, getting angry is normal, as we know, but in relationships, even in friendships, managing anger, I just don't want us to focus on marriage issues, but more friendships. You know, you're angry. How have you managed your anger, and how has it affected negatively sometimes your relationships with people? I don't know who would like to go first, you see?
Okay, I could go first. So, anger is just a form of emotion, like every other emotion. So there are different emotions. We have jealousy, envy, we have forgiveness. Those are emotions, you know, and anger is just one of them. And there are so many. But what I see is that because we have not grown into, or we were not taught, let me use that, we're not taught how to handle our emotions whenever they come, we see that we keep having the same type of emotions in different relationships. So the anger is there. You have an anger issue, first of all. It's basically not because of what that person has said to you, because even after this relationship, and I go to this relationship, and I go to that relationship, that emotion still keeps coming up from time to time, irrespective of the circumstances. So the emotion is what we need to deal with. And I personally started doing a self-awareness, emotional awareness course, and I realized that the emotion itself is not the problem, but it's what you do with it when it comes that becomes the problem. And then I start...
Wait, listen. See, you have to slow down.
Okay, sorry.
Some of us are not where you are. You are saying this thing so easily, but there are little things you're saying that are really, really hard for some people to understand. So first of all, what you said was really important was the fact that when a situation happens, it's not about that situation. It's the emotion that you have.
Yes.
So in every situation, how do I manage it? Because you can respond to it differently.
Yes.
If you choose to.
Yes. So let me give you a scenario. So I could say, Nima could say something now to me and Miriam, and we receive the same information and we respond differently. Right. Now, we're responding based on how energy is passing through our energy system. So I may have issues with anger. It's not Nima that is my problem. Because if it's not Nima that's sitting there, it's YK that said the same thing, I will still react the same way. So it's not the person or the circumstance that is the problem. It's how I am translating the information that is the problem. And that's something that we all need to find time to start taking note of, to help ourselves. So some of us, like, personally, I used to get angry very easily. Like, we'll be playing now, you won't just know when something has just switched in my head. And tracing it back, I had grown up in a home where my father used to get angry very easily too. You can just be gisting with him, everybody's playing, and the man has flipped. And I never wanted to be like him. Now I'm realizing that, whoa, I need to watch myself because I'm becoming like him. And the sort of friends I also have who look at me and tell me the truth. To say, why, but that was, why did you? That made me start looking inward. So the emotions will come. Every emotion will cross you. The thoughts will pass. The envy will pass. The jealousy will pass. The unforgiveness will pass. But what you do with it is what we now start working on so that you become a better human being. But it's a regular feeling that every human being will have. Let me end here.
Okay, so for me growing up, anger was like an emotion you were not allowed to express, especially towards those that are older than you. So what we did was we piled our anger, and then one day you burst over something so tiny, and like, how dare you? But you're just so angry over a lot of things. So for me, I was very aware that it's because I wasn't allowed to express myself. So in raising my children, I'm doing it differently. I let them understand that anger is a valid expression. When someone does something to make you angry, it's okay to be angry, but we need to find a way to express our anger in such a way that, you know, harmful. Yes. So in my house, you're allowed to tell someone, what you did really made me upset, and I'm not in the right frame of mind to talk to you right now. Can you give me some time? So we do that with the children. If there's no throwing of tantrums, if you do that, if you feel like screaming or shouting, you can take yourself out of the situation and go and scream and shout wherever in a room, you know. So you're allowed to express it, but then we give you time to use the words. And one thing I always say to them is also use your words. Don't use crying and screaming, and use the words that you feel like. If you cannot express it right now, give yourself time when you can come and tell the person. Don't ever feel bad for feeling angry if someone did something, you know, to make you angry that deserved anger. But express yourself in such a way that a person understands and, you know, gives you that respect. So that's what we're trying to do.
Use your words. Don't just throw, because we have
throw tantrums, throw hands, throw,
No, tell them I am mad at you right now, and I just need some time. It makes a whole lot of sense. Nima, how do we manage anger?
I just remembered my 4-year-old turning 5 next month saying to me, "Mommy, use your words." So whenever he's talking to me, I'm used to, I grew up like that, so my father can say, and I can tell you, this he meant no, he meant yes. I grew up like that. And every time I deal with this boy, he will say, "Mommy, say yes or no." He says that all the time. I appreciate it all the time when close people, in fact, not even close, if anybody I've had an interaction with comes to me and said, "You offended me," I appreciate it because you could have just embarrassed me in anger. So even if I have a reservation about what you have said, I always do apologize first. Just as you said, it's an emotion and the way you interpret what I do. So we were having a talk, myself and my sisters, about something that was a joke. So we usually would say, maybe you're in a business and you're online. We'll say, I don't travel, meaning that you're no longer presently there. And my sister used that language with someone, and the person flared up. How do you mean that? Because she thought my sister meant, you know, you're not your spirit or something. Whoa. So I was like, but she not travel, not before she depressed, you know. It's where your own exposure ends that theirs starts. So you learn people, give people room to understand them. It is when I cannot. So I can be angry with you, but I will build it. I can be patiently angry with you. That's the way me I am. So I will keep, and when I start to tell you the other day, you'll be like, you know, I have that time. Why I build it like that is because I might be mistaken the first time.
Yes.
So when you do something immediately, I'll be like, let me make sense of this. Yes. So maybe it took me forever. I've not made sense of it. You don't do another one. I've not made sense. So it's now a pattern. So eventually, the anger, it will be a form of please, please, please. You, there's no change.
So you observe patterns like me
yes,
too.
they do that well. So I can be angry with you, but it will take a while. It will take to get there. But I always appreciate it because I know how it works me up about people. You know what? For someone to tell me mine immediately.
One thing that I think was praise forward that said that when you're angry, especially with your kids, just think for a second. Just imagine that maybe it's Bill Gates that gave you his son to intern with you, or you know, this child you have is so precious that this is not just anybody's child. This is like Prince Harry that you are raising. Would you be shouting at Prince Harry like that? There's a way.
You know yourself.
No, so the idea is that you have to always, before you express that anger, recalibrate your brain as, okay, who am I talking to? And if you put a picture, even if it's your husband, I'm talking to Dangote right now, and he's about to, it doesn't mean that you won't express yourself, but it helps you to stop before you start displaying.
I know, I wanted to use the husband disclaimer because I see couples do this thing. So you believe that this is your person and you can be angry. Some people use it to justify violence. Say, no, it's because of the kind of love. I think you should turn it around and value that person. So this is what I do. If we're discussing a broken phone, for instance, or an amount of money, I always say to myself, is it worth that person's... There's nothing that you can do that I can't let go. So I will value... And it is most practical in marriages. This person has probably given you 2 children, some people 10. And in one anger, you destroy a working system of marriage. You don't consider the attendant effect or the attendant consequences, the children, the loss of investment of emotions, time and everything. And one that small flip of emotion, you destroy something so strong.
I'm loving this conversation. This is something that happened actually, So this happened to me recently. I'm doing some work with someone, and the person has a tendency to say things that are almost disrespectful, in English. And I would say a lot of thanks to my husband because he comes with the maturity of, we know what is ahead and we know what we're trying to get. Don't let us scatter it just because of a difference in opinion. Manage it. So I'm learning to manage it. But I also have a relative that's like, tell her exactly how you feel. What we go, we'll go. We'll start all over again, you know. But, you know, and I understand that. And it comes also with age and maturity. So I figured I've done so much. I've put in so much. Where I'm headed is closer than where I'm coming from. We'll manage this disrespectful behavior. And then when we get there, after we have done, signed the dotted lines and everything, then I'll have a conversation with you about your disrespectful behavior throughout this process.
I like it. I have to go on a break. When we come back, I think I'd like to bring in our celebrity guest just to join the conversation. Let me even hear his thoughts on this matter. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home for that fun, entertainment, and hit music.
In Lagos, TVC, our leading family entertainment TV channel, has a 47% market share. But this is just the start of our journey as we plan to add even more services to entertain and inform our ever-growing audience. Thanks for being part of the TVC communications story.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's Your View. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights on. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. So joining the conversation is a popular Nollywood actor in the Yoruba genre. He has featured in over 100 movies since he debuted, and he's also a producer and director. Welcome with us, Damola Olatunji in the building. How are you doing?
Again. I'm fine, and you?
How is wifey?
Oh, she's doing fine.
Good to have you on the show. So before you came on, we're talking about anger, managing anger with friends, family, children. As a man, you know, I don't want to be direct, but how do you manage anger, even at work with your friends? And when you get angry, what are those coping mechanisms you use to address how you express your anger?
All right. What I do is this. I grew up to a particular saying that says anger is a small madness. So do nothing when you're angry, because what you will destroy will be much more than what causes your anger. Do you understand? So basically, anytime I'm angry, people on set can actually testify to that. Especially when I'm directing, you know, it comes with a whole lot of tension here and there from actors, from crew and all that, and sometimes they want to drive you crazy. So they know that anytime I'm angry, I just take a walk. They realize that, okay, I think Damola is angry. I'll just take a walk, or I just keep quiet. I'll just be looking at you. You understand? After a while, I will now come up with whatever I want to do, whatever I decided to do, I'll still maintain my stand. So most of the time, I don't get to talk back. Because sometimes I realize that when I talk back too, I tend to get angry, and my anger is more or less like when I'm angry with you, you know, I'm angry with you, and somebody says something behind, I'm like, I leave you and I talk to you. Do you understand? So now when the whole matter is settled, I had to say sorry to a whole lot of people. And I feel bad. Do you understand? I transfer the aggression easily. So I tend to be like, when I'm angry, I just keep quiet, I just take a walk.
Right, but we must take a lot of self-discipline to get to that point.
Oh, well.
So when did you start? Is this something you were born with, or something you worked at?
No, I wasn't born with it. You know, I just grew up to realize that saying, and as an actor, I can easily get angry. You know, as an actor, you get angry, and everybody will be begging you because of, you know, the production and all that and all that, and they'll just be pampering you. But as a director, you are the head of the production. So when you get angry, everything gets scattered and all that. So you have to just make sure you manage that anger. A bad director will be a director that gets angry easily
and works off set.
Definitely.
And scatters production after you spent money.
So at the end of the day, it boils back to you.
Yeah, so I also realized that anger comes from, as a negative emotion, comes from a deep-rooted fear. Fear that you have lost control of the situation. So we as human beings, we always like to have expectations of people. When I talk, there's a way I expect Nima should respond to me. And when we're doing business, there's a way I respect Nima should carry me or do the things. And when that doesn't work the way we have, you know, calculated in our head, we flip and get upset from a place of fear. So what like you now, naturally, I was born to keep quiet when I'm upset. So I didn't have to learn that. It was something that just came with me, having to deal with a lot of, you know, angry situations growing up. So I sort of adapted to when I am really angry, I keep quiet. You will notice I'll just be calm. I keep quiet. But so I'm now moving on from there to a place where I now start asking myself quickly, what am I afraid of? Why am I reacting this way? What exactly am I afraid of? Am I afraid I've lost control? Am I afraid that I'm losing this relationship? So when I find why I'm afraid, it helps me to quickly in my head calculate the situation and then calm down.
So when you're with your friend or with your spouse or with your... So you feel like you've lost control of this because you want them to understand what you're saying.
In a certain way that you want it.
Well, Mariah, you see a good example of this is when you see mothers and their children crossing the road and it looks like a car is about to... You can see the fear, but when the mother grabs the child... she's breathing out of fear, like, I almost lost you.
Yes.
I have a friend. He gets angry easily. But in the long run, I realize that it's out of complex. So he uses that to just to defend himself. You know, anytime he's a bit feeling inferior about something, he gets angry.
For real?
Yes. So to escape that situation, he gets angry and guy, calm down. This thing never reaches. No, and he just, you know, later realized, okay, I think it's about complex.
So let me, as a man, I mean, I like, because we're women and we also have husbands, and we like to learn from men, because a lot of women are also watching this program and they see a man on set and they still like us to ask, like, when it comes to marriage as a man, how best do you manage a situation of anger, especially when you're dealing with women?
Very important.
Because sometimes we women like to express ourselves. You know, this is what we're trying to, so sometimes men don't try to see things from where we are seeing it, because we are exploring different things. He's only seeing it from one way. So how do you manage us as a woman?
Okay, I would like to say this. I don't believe there's a particular way to handle it. It varies from individuals. Now, some people like it when they are hungry. They like people to talk back at them. Some like it when they are angry, like people to keep quiet. You know? So when you now talk back at them, they know that, okay, I think I'm doing something wrong. They calm down. Some people, when you talk back at them, they get more infuriated. You know, they flare up and the whole thing just gets scattered. So I think the first thing first is just to understand your spouse. Understand your partner, the kind of understand the style that he or she understands. Okay, if it's this person that likes it hot, maybe give it to her hot. If it's the person that likes it calm, give it to her calm.
So we want to avoid giving it to her.
No. When I say giving it to her hot, it's all about, there's a way you say things to people, and you're trying to correct them, but you're still giving them that respect.
Yes.
That Yorubas will say, Belela ko labo. Do you understand? You can say Bele to somebody, and it means like, oh, actually, you're really sorry. You can say Bele in a way that you're insulting that person. You know, the Bele can still be like you're mocking that person. So it depends on the style your spouse understands. But the major thing is don't lose that respect for each other.
The question is, in a marriage setting, what is the standard of anger that is expressed?
Required.
Because, especially when there are children, you know, there's a line that you cross. You're just embarrassing yourself.
Okay, now let me use myself as an example. I tell my wife, no matter how mad I am, no matter how crazy I get, there must be a time for us to settle it. Now, sometimes it's okay, you're mad, and she'll just come, hello, you know you're still angry. It's almost 24 hours. You know, I just laugh.
The sun must not set on that.
Do you understand? But sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it takes 48 hours. Do you understand?
Or 2 weeks.
No, that's too long. That's not healthy.
We have to go on a break, because there's a question I want to ask you, but I'll ask you after the break.
Right.
Stay with us.
There's a question I want to ask everyone.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Ekiti, land of honor and integrity.
We have brought to you good news
from a company with an undisputable integrity.
C Pompey Concepts.
We bring to you a pre-launch sales offer that will blow your mind.
Our 600 square meter land goes for 570,000 naira only,
while our 300 square meter land goes for 320.
Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it? Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi sì sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
Àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ pé jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ẹ̀ kí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? It's the makeup in progress, makeup
check.
Are the scripts on the prompter, script
check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place, PCR
check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest, Damola Olatunji, here as an actor, and is discussing issues of anger with us. And I was going to ask you about, because you said about that there are different types of ways to manage anger in marriages. But there's some situations whereby the husband is getting angry. Like, okay, let me use myself as an example. When my husband gets angry, my husband likes me to engage him. You know, he'll be asking, say something, and I don't want to make me. My husband is just keep quiet. He wants you to engage him in that state of anger. He'll keep asking questions. This. And I'm just like, and that angers him more than I'm not saying anything. Wow. Because me, I want to keep quiet because I want peace. In that kind of situation, what do I do?
Oh, well, like I said earlier, I think you should just know how to know the limit. You know, sometimes when you engage him too, just try to know that okay, there's a limit at which when you exactly the elastic limit before you get to the break point. Yeah. So definitely when you're engaging him, just okay, there's a limit to this thing. At the point where you know that okay, it's not finding fun anymore, just keep quiet.
Yeah. So another thing is sometimes you're angry and you do not know you're angry. You haven't processed the emotions going through you. So you're just speaking and your voice is going high. The other person is observing that this person is angry. But you in your mind, I'm just trying to explain, but you're already angry. Yeah. So it will help. Explain. Yeah, wait. People don't know how to explain. It will help if you quickly remind him that you're already getting upset. Can we calm down and have this conversation? Or can we have this conversation another time? So if he gets it into his head, I'm angry, and he wants to continue, then you know he's looking for trouble. And depending on your mood, you can now, you know, apportion the trouble the way you want to give it to him. But if sometimes, because when I hear you are getting angry. That's when I just realized, okay, I actually got angry just now. In my mind, I won't say it out, but then I now calm down and talk. So sometimes we don't know the emotions that are already flowing.
There's this tube that I need to take. It's a quarter. Fred Kabiri says, because I grew up in the street, when I am angry, just keep quiet, because if you talk back, I destroy stuff, like beat the hell out of you until I learn something on this show about emotional intelligence.
So, see, I like you to address that, because that kind of person is saying, don't say anything to me, just let me. But he is there. Does he have an insecurity issue? Is he afraid for him to have that kind of expression in doing anger?
No, okay, so when the person is quiet.
No, when the person is expressing anger, when you are shouting, because you said it earlier that it's based on how you interpret the situation.
The situation. So what I see most times is that when you feel that emotion, because we don't pay attention to emotional intelligence here most of the time. It's just a few of us now at the beginning to learn what it is, to understand what is happening inwards. We are more focused on the outward most of the time. So because we don't understand that, sometimes they don't know what is happening. Sometimes they know what is happening, but because they have not had any conversation in that regard, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to progress. So you grew up in a home where when they're angry, they throw stuff. That's all you know. When you grow as an adult, you now realize that throwing stuff is bad. And you're now fighting with yourself on how you can better handle it. So some people are naturally stubborn and they don't care about relationship. That's where it gets bad. You, now that you're a director, you now have to start asking yourself, after I've spent money to organize it, I can't get angry anymore and walk away. You don't have any stake. There are some people who understand the stakes ahead. Like Miriam said, we are going to his father. So let me take a step back now. So it takes your level of awareness. And it's how you relate when you're upset.
Okay, right, so wrapping up on this very simple. Let me
so I don't know the textbook versions of this, but I've noticed with people, as he said, he grew up on the streets. Many people that grew up in such tough situations are survivors. And it's just a survival instinct, that anger. And those that were raised in a bit of comfort are taught, love. And so usually they don't address life in such force. So because for them it's, even to get food to eat, it's either you fight and eat it or you don't get anything. So you find people like that, as they grow old, that's all they know. That's how they know how to express it.
You marry that kind of person. How do you marry that kind of person?
That is why they say she must be equally yoked.
Yes. So
marry your type.
Observe before you enter.
Or allow this person to grow to such a point that you and that person can now be equally yoked.
So my final question on this concerning the issue, I'm like, how do you manage your kids? I know your kids are still young. I mean, sometimes they upset you at work, they upset you, and the kids are coming, they want to hug you, and you're like, I don't have time for this nonsense right now. So, in your view, how have you experienced that with children?
Okay, let me use myself as an example. Growing up, I happened to be a very fast talker. So anytime I had issues with my siblings, when they asked me to explain, I can't explain because I start stammering and all that. And the next thing is I'm crying.
I know that feeling.
And the Yoruba will say, I need to. And even when I'm right, I can't just come out to explain myself and I start crying. Then my elder brother is so composed and all that, and even when he's wrong,
he will win the case.
And they ask him what happened today. The first thing is we'll prostrate. Thank you, sir. He has a way of bringing out the points, and he analyzes that. The next thing is
he will win the case.
They will not even ask you anything. They just put you in jail and all that. So, until date, he's still very much composed and more than ever. I can't say certain things. I can't just stand it. Even when I'm not cool, I just take a walk. Like, okay, I'm like, what happened? No, I just take a walk. So basically, now with kids, I tend to see the same traits in them. Okay, when this one is angry, I know. When he's angry, he will just come, Daddy, I just calm down. Calm down. Just calm down first. Do you understand? Just calm down first. Then later you come and explain to me, what do you want? Okay, let's take a walk. So you now come back. Now explain. But the other lady comes and be like, she's
very articulate.
She would talk, she would give examples of how you open up and be like, wow. So I don't just drop them based on them.
Immediately too.
Do you understand? So I tend to, okay, I was like that, so I tend to place them in that same position.
I started too. I mean, you don't even hear what I'm saying. When I'm angry, my tongue starts twisting. I can't talk again. So anyway, we have to.
My children are just like yours, so I have one that is very articulate. Oh my God, when she tells you, she will take her time and explain the picture. The other one is just so angry. Like,
all right, so let's talk about what you're working on. I know that you're a member of Tampa, and there's a lot of restructuring going on there.
Tampan
before the princess called with both that happened. Me, I just hear Tampa was there, but there was never
saw that visible.
Yes, but now I just said, hey, Tampa, what's going on? What happened? We just went viral.
What's happening?
What's going on in Tampa? Right?
Okay, let me quickly say this. There's nothing like a bad press, as far as I'm concerned. Now, it now depends on how you now handle this after the whole thing. Now, Tampan is just a 6-year-old baby, and we're still growing. We're just trying to restructure and reposition ourselves to the right path. So, the whole Zaga that happened recently and all that and the blah, 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 make Tampan much more popular. Now, popular for what? Now, for bad reasons, though, you know. But still we believe that we still have a long way going, because everybody will agree with me that before now, it's not even the Tampan thing now, it's the entertainment sector. The entertainment sector is so porous, so loose and so free that anybody can wake up and say, fine, I want to be an actor. And the next morning, I'm a director, and nobody's regulating that industry. And unlike the banking sector where, you know, there were times in Nigeria we had banks everywhere.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, the federal government said, okay, let there be capital base. You know, some bank left, some merged. Do you understand? Even now, some banks are still coming together to form stronger banks. So that's for an industry where
there's regulation.
Do you understand? How much more an industry where there's an open gate for anybody to come in and all that. And so after the whole thing, we started, okay, fine, let's have, Tampan has always been a coalition of guilds. Unlike other associations, Tampan has, in Tampan we have guild of directors, we have guild of actors, guild of cinematographers, and of, you know, several guilds in Tampan. Now, I am the chairman guild of directors, and so we said, okay, fine, for every movie, there must be a director. Now, when we start with directors and we try to put our house in order, I think we can be able to streamline all these things and be able to say, okay, who is in and who is out. Now, if we're trying to build a glass house and we bring in only the freeborn and we locked out the bastards outside, the bastard out there will throw stones.
Break the glass doors.
And to make it unbearable for both the freeborn and the bastards to live in. So what we did is, okay, fine, let's have an open gate for everybody to come in. When everybody is in, we give them the rules and regulations governing the house. Now, those that fail to comply, we send them out. Then we know that when there's a stone coming from somewhere, we can easily pinpoint who's from. Do you understand? So that's what we're trying to do, and that leads us to having to organize a retreat for the directors.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we're having a retreat for the directors on the 25th and 26th of this month. So let's come together. Let's talk. Let's have a roundtable talk. Let's analyze the problems where we got it wrong, and the way. Do you understand? And the way forward, because sometimes we can't belong to an association, and people have different reasons for being part of the association. You know, so some are members of the association because they have dubious sort of income and they don't want to cover up. Do you know?
Let's talk about what standards. So there were movies responding to this issue that brought Tampan out.
Yes.
Movies, one person producing a movie to tell his own narrative, the other person not, you know. Somebody even did a movie of a matter that was in court. What exactly would you people not allow, and how would you enforce that you're disallowing it? What exactly, let me say it, the Yomi Fabi movie, could you have done anything about it? Okay,
like I said earlier, that there needs to be a proper regulation.
Yes.
Now, I'm happy that when Tampan came up with their stand on Yomi Fabi, he said he was never a member of Tampan. Now, it shows that even when there are rules and regulations governing the association, somebody who is just an associate, you know, and not a member will always want to flog that rule and all that. So definitely what we're trying to do is this. We have screening for everybody. Then there's a revalidation exercise going on. Now, if you're coming in as a member of the association and you've filled your form, you've signed to it and all that, that means you're ready to work with the laws and the bylaws governing the association. Then when you do something contrary to that, then I think sanction should come for you.
Okay, the if there, it's where I have a problem. So, for instance, you can't just go and set up a meat shop or you set up a tailoring shop. The association will find you and they'll shut it down. You have to pay the dues. You have to. So now, if you leave it at the word, I'm looking at the word if, That means it's your choice to either belong to Tampan or not. Is
Yes.
there no way that if you decide that you're coming into this industry, you must be a member of this?
Thank you.
Can you get government backing?
We're working alongside with the Census Board, the Nigerian Video Film and Census Board, and now it's compulsory for every movie maker to belong to a guild. Gonna do this where you say, I'm a freelancer, I want to operate. No, you can't do that now. You must belong to a guild. Now, if you make a movie and your director is a member of a guild, it's not compulsory to belong to Tampan. So we have other guilds.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, we have like 13 recognized guilds, do you understand, in Nigeria right now. So you must belong to a guild. No matter, even if you have a company and you don't know that, you must belong to a guild. Now, if you don't belong to a guild, you cannot practice. Now, for those that belong to Tampan, they must follow the rules and regulation. And everyone must just be aware of those rules. And that's why we're having that retreat, so that we all can come together. These are our stand on this. This is where we stay on this. These are the do's and don'ts.
Yeah. So one thing I find on social media, especially when there's a Yoruba-speaking actor or actress, or Yoruba is involved, people just immediately call Tampan. And then you have people say, no, we are not part of it. So, you know, I think it's important, as you said, that people also need to know, okay, I am a Tampan member, and not just because I speak Yoruba. But secondly, there's always this fight that happens on social media, and I'm wondering what Tampan's stance is on people that go to social media to fight.
Something happened recently that haven't led to the bigger fight and all that. So we realized that because we're too porous, we have people coming on and coming into the session and all that. And the next thing is when there's a little fight, they go on social media. Now, what we realize is this. Fine, social media has come to stay. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It has come to stay. So what we need to do is, how do we manage it? That's what we're talking about, anger. Anger is part of life. It's part of what we must face every day. But we must learn to manage the emotional side of it. So now what we're trying to do is, how do we manage social media? It's like a two-edged sword. If you're not careful, it can cut you. And if you're properly handled, it can protect you. So now, when the memo that led to a suspension of a female actor and a male actor, I signed that memo. As a director, I just called a meeting, my members and all that, and I said, come, this nonsense must stop. Why must you come to settle your scores on social media? Do you understand? We have rules, we have regulations. And I issued a memo and I said, no director should work with both of them. Do you understand? It's an internal memo to all directors. And when you're filming and another director is working with you, I want to say how you want to. Do you understand? That has been resolved. So now what we're trying to say is this. Now, that cautioned a whole lot of people. If you notice that after that incident, a lot of people stepped down and backed out from the normal, usual social media ranting. People do that because they want to create content and gain followers. What does that make sense?
We have to run up very soon. But you see, you said something that I thought was important. Emotions. Because we saw it even in the leadership of Tampan. Yeah. You see, leading in the past and leading in the present are two different things. So we know the leadership, the fathers, there's a way they will caution a child. But in today's times, it can be interpreted in different ways. So I know there are some outbursts that maybe like, let me say, the elder Jide Koshoko had said, maybe he didn't mean it the way it came out. But in anger, there's a way you say it. So what are you doing to ensure that even these emotional outbursts we have, that we also caution ourselves internally, because anything can go onto social media right now and then can be misinterpreted. So there also, and I hope that this will be addressed at the retreat, where leaders on all levels know that you cannot be talking to people anyhow like they used to. It was very civil language. Yes, use civil language. We've seen it even in leadership, in Nigerian leadership. You just see people speaking anyhow, saying Nigerians are this. So what are you doing? How are you going to address these kind of issues at the retreat?
Okay, now, one thing is this. We are Africans. We have culture, we have tradition. But at the same time, we need to separate culture and tradition away from administration. Do you understand? On a normal day, as a CEO, you can come in and say, okay, this is what I want. You know, your friend in the establishment can say, okay, sir, do you understand? In administration, that's the way it should be. But under the African tribes, can say, already, no, that can't work. We can, you know, even though you have reservations, there's a way you table it, there's processes that it has to pass. No, so that's what we need to separate. I said something earlier, I said, social media has come to stay. There's nothing anybody can do about it. So what we are trying to do at Tampa now is, how do we restructure ourselves, how do we rebuild ourselves, and how do we reposition ourselves? Tampa is just 6 years. And we thank God that at the level at which we're picking up now, we are the largest guild in Africa. No guessing about that, yes. Nigeria's Entertainment Guild in
You
Africa.
have, you have messages hailing you. So Onabanjo Dapo says, Demola happens to be a fantastic actor on set. Ladies, happy weekend. Titilayo Uria Deto says, well done, Demola.
Thank you.
And she's also commending BC for her comments. Bamidele Aimoyewa says, actors and celebrities with balanced marriages and family lives are often without too much friends.
All right, we have to run, unfortunately.
Okay,
That's
so
all we can
I wanted
take.
to ask if you don't have friends, but
We've run out of time, but thank you. For in 5 seconds, what are you working on? What should we be looking out for?
Okay, actually, aside the Tampan Guild of Directors of Retreat, I'm working on my personal project. That is confidential.
Oh.
It's actually a cinema job.
It's called Confidential or...
That's the title of the movie, Confidential.
Okay, we
Yeah.
thought you wanted to...
No, that's the title of the movie, Confidential. It's a cinema project, and I've been on it now for over a year, and we're almost done, and it's coming out.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks for coming.
That's all we can take. It's been an interesting week so far. Amoba, Shola, hey, Amoba, Shola, hey, Amoba, Shola.
All roads lead to worry.
Shola. We'll see you tomorrow at the coronation. I'm not going to be there, but watching on TV. Have a lovely weekend. See you Monday.